Hey everyone, Caesar Quick here with Having Healthy Marriages and Relationships. And I want to talk to you guys about a topic that's on my heart. And it's going to be called praise. Okay, praise. And when I talk about praise, I'm talking about praising your mate, praising your spouse, giving credit for the good things. Because I think what we often do in marriages and relationships is we're quick to talk about like all the negative things that our spouse may or may not be doing. And granted, it may be true that your spouse or mate may not be doing the things that you want, or they may not be on point 100%, or they could be slacking in a lot of different areas. But what areas are you slacking in? You know what I mean? So you have to really, really think about that as well. But not the focus of the topic. The focus of the topic actually is praise. So one of the complaints that I hear from a lot of couples, a lot of spouses, is that their spouse or mate is always focused on a lot of negativity. And, negativity could come across with just, maybe your spouse or your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, girlfriend. They might be trying to give you actually some constructive criticism, I like to call it. Because a lot of times, your spouse or mate should have you in the best interest. So if they have you in the best interest, they're going to try to critique you, to help you to be better. Now, a lot of times we have to watch how we critique one another, because that critique could be received as an attack, or we could feel offended by how our spouse or mate may come across. So I'm going to give you a tip today to help you to be able to reach your spouse or mate in a better way. And that's going to be bring more praise than you do critique. Okay, so when your spouse is doing what they're supposed to do, even if they're not doing everything that you would like them to do, point out one thing, lift up one thing. Babe, honey, whatever you call them, look, I appreciate you. You did a great job. I appreciate you going out to get whatever it is I asked you for. Whatever the errand is, if you sent them on an errand, appreciate them. Tell them you appreciate it. Because often once we get the person, we often think like, we're obligated to do those things. And, definitely for husbands and wives here, there's a certain level of obligation that's there. But let's just think about that. They still are going, they may not necessarily feel like doing what you're asking. And a lot of times it might be a sacrifice for them. So we want to let our spouses and mates know, hey, look, I appreciate you for all that you do, because I'm going to tell you something that will do for you. If you're praising your spouse or your mate, your spouse to be, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is, if you're giving due praise, what's going to happen is when you come to them with constructive criticism, when you ask them, hey, babe, can you do this a little bit better? Or I have a problem with, when you come with the constructive critique, your spouse and mate's going to be a little bit more open to hear you. Because if all you ever do is speak negativity over the situation, or all you ever do is magnify the negative things, then it's going to come across to your spouse as, look, all they ever do is talk about the negative things. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they're not wrong, or some of the things they may do, they might need to tighten up on. You could be very well correct. But if you handle this thing the wrong way, A, they're never going to get the message, and B, you guys are going to be in and out of arguments and fights. So this is more of a corrective thing, or this is more of a learning thing on your end. Come across with the praise, because it's so important, because we take people for granted today, not necessarily intentionally, but we do it maybe subconsciously, and just thinking that, hey, it's expected. While it's expected, the praise is also expected. That's what they're not telling you, okay? It might be expected subconsciously, but I'm telling you, just that encouraging word, just that, hey, I appreciate you, I love you, it goes such a long way, guys, because it's going to motivate your spouse or your mate to do more of that. And we want to motivate them to do it. Not just because we want to motivate them to do it because we love them, and we want to motivate them because when you motivate them, it's going to motivate you. and it's going to have a ricochet effect, and that's what's going to make a great marriage and or a great relationship. So this is Caesar Quick with today's tip. Praise your spouse or your mate. All right. If you haven't done so already, check out our blog at HealthyMarriagesRelationshipsGOD'sWay.com. That might sound kind of long, but it's actually it's not having, it's HealthyMarriagesRelationshipsGOD'sWay.com. It's having HealthyMarriagesRelationshipsGOD'sWay.com on Facebook, but the blog site's actually just HealthyMarriagesRelationshipsGOD'sWay.com. So check out our blog if you haven't already. Opt in for married couples. There's a free 100 ways to divorce-proof your marriage. Pick up our free report there. And just tune in. We got more coming at you. Caesar Quick, thank you for listening to this video. If you're not already a fan, on our Facebook page, we're there. We're on Instagram at Having Healthy Marriages and Relationships. I look forward to bringing you more. Peace.